extra prep time. So, in a very good spot. But if they could get upset today by the Shock, what a boon it would be, A, for San Francisco, but yeah, now you have to start throwing questions around about NYXL and how they're going to play under pressure in playoffs.
This is their toughest opponent. This is going to be their biggest test.
Let's go ahead and take a look at the map set presented by Toyota. Busan will be the start, followed up by Numbani, then Volskaya and Dorado. Numbani, crucially, you remember that series versus the Seoul Dynasty that NYXL played in, where we saw a massive turnaround.
Yeah, very much a exciting map comparison here we have as well. It was touched on in the pre-show earlier, but you can see the first two maps very flip-floppy between these two. You kind of see it snake down, though we see Volskaya and Dorado a lot closer. Be huge if Shock could take the win here on Busan. They've got an 0-2 record here. That would certainly set the stage for a very solid beginning for them because they have the advantage on Numbani.
Very much so. But here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We are ready to jump into the match of the week. San Francisco Shock, New York Excelsior. Everybody going to be pushing out the spawn. So far, we'll just be matching up those compositions, the 3-3 coming through.
Nene is a Zarya player, plays a lot more passively than Sinatra. You're going to see him come in to clean up kills, not to initiate fights. Those positioning here, huge difference.
All right, pushing forward, right click going through, Rascal almost taken down, but Violet actually will find JJonak to start things off. Very nice beginning for the Shock, but can they follow up and find more? Super still going dangerously low. Violet trying to top him back up. The armor packs will come through, and the Shock off of that one pick will be able to grab the point.
It's a huge play, and that's the pick you want is Violet. It's what most Zenyatas are always looking for is that right-click kill on the enemy Zen, but with New York style where they play passively and are so reliant on JJonak's damage, that's exactly the kind of pick you're looking for.
Well, New York pushing forward again. Meeting Super as the hammer swings start to come through. Mono not able to build up too much for that Earth Shatter yet. JJonak again taking damage as Violet tries to hound him down. You can see him trying to play around this pillar just to get the shots in onto him. Is unable to take him out, but still New York Excelsior getting wailed on by the Shock. Mono going to be taken down to the front line. The Shatter comes through. Super locks him up, pinned through. Will pop Mekko out, and that's going to be the cleanup. San Francisco Shock look clean and clinical at the start.
Nice play. Family is here watching as well. Good moment here for Super, who's had a bit of a rough start this season. But I have to say, I do really appreciate how the Shock are playing this. They're playing a lot more passive than usual. They're reliant on Violet, doing this damage to JJonak, poking him out, making it so he can't do that damage with positional advantages like what the Shock have now on the point. It's very difficult for New York to slowly approach.
Well, Rally's going to be out as they start pushing their way forward. Rascal leading the charge. But see the non-commitment there from the New York Excelsior. They just go ahead and pull back. They're waiting for those ultimates to come online. They nearly have 5.
They want the big fight that goes in their favor with all their ultimates after baiting out one of the Shocks.
Gonna have to find that
grav. They want Sinatra to use the grav and they want to counter it, but he's just not going to take the bait.
Yep, Sinatra is playing back with his squad, not going in aggressively for a flank position. But Violet's going to be picked off. Nene manages to find the first kill. Now might be able to set for that grab play, but San Francisco as well showing some restraint will just surrender the point over.
It's ironic that in a lot of ways, San Francisco Shock has adopted New York style here, utilizing Violet as damage output, not overextending as Sinatra on the Zarya stays back, waiting for kill confirms to engage rather than building up big charges, looking for big grab plays. They know they had the ult, economy pretty even, so why waste ults there when the blip comes through and you can look for a perfect fight, a better fight, and that's what they look to do here on the attack.
Grab's going to be coming down, locking him up into the front line. Instantly, Transcendence is going to be out from Violet. Bomb up into the air, looking for the pick, but not going to be able to find anything. Choyobin now going to be dumping his, but the sound barrier shield is in. No one going to be taken down yet. Shatters out from either side. No one dropping. And YXL maintaining control of the point. JJonak into the back again. He's going to be spamming out, looking for a target. One playing behind the drum, behind the pillars, keeping himself safe. But Mono gets taken down. Choyobin goes forward with the rockets. Eliminates that enemy Rhine. Flip nearly coming back in favor of the Shock. A couple members of NYXL going lower and lower. And they're going to be taken out now. Rally's coming through from Rascal, arming them up. And that will be the flip coming through. Sanfran at 97%, now going to be losing out on Mekko. The flip's going to come through. NYXL might be losing this first round. Grabs out. They're looking to close it out right now. Can they tag in? Somebody does. Will be Libero in the back. Now trying to stay alive. JJonak pops the Transcendence. But it's just So few members of NYXL trying to get this flip through the tank line. Delayed on the arrival. No one else can get there. And Shock will be able to take Sanctuary.
Very great start for the Shock. Absolutely changing their style here against the Excelsior. Playing more passive, playing back. It was a set play we saw from the Excelsior to try to defend their point. We saw Mono look for the shatter there, as we did see Nene toss in the grab. He couldn't get into position. That's when the San Francisco Shock punished him. His shatter came out later. It did not connect with many targets. And this is a completely different Shock that we're seeing tonight, catering their play to the New York Excelsior. This is a team that's come in well prepared. They are the underdogs, but they start off with the first round under their belt. It's a very different style, New York versus Vancouver. You know, it's aggro for Vancouver, defense for Excelsior. The Shock, though, somewhere in between here. And I have to say, it's working out well so far.
That it is. Let's see if New York can tie this up, or San Francisco does start things off nicely with the 2-0 closeout on Busan. Mono trying to push his way forward, gets that bubble coming in, but takes so much damage as he tries to push back. Seems like he will be able to stay alive for the moment as the point gets ready to unlock in 10 seconds. Super in a very excellent spot. I mean, look at the difference in charge between these Reinhardts right now. New York in the very back of the point, going to be unlocked. San Francisco, they start the drop down. Go ahead and get the cap. They will try to aggress here. New York, and that's going to be JJonak coming up with a double kill. This is what they were lacking on Sanctuary. We weren't seeing the pickoffs coming through. He finds 2 to start things.
This time, there's a huge difference. Violet doesn't have line of sight in these choke points to actually threaten him, so he's able to do more of what he wants. And when he gets these angles, he comes up big with the damage. He leads Violet 20% of ult charge here. But that's just the majority of New York. That's a majority because New York backed away.
San Francisco straight back out the gate. Big Mono low. JJonak dropping down. Transcendence now going to be online. Has that bailout button. Also could use it in case Sinatra wants to invest a grab. Rally's going to be out to start from Libero. Pushing forward. San Francisco Shock. You can see that hesitation, have to pull back.
Yeah, they're taking
Walls
a lot
come
of
up.
damage.
A little bit of extra cover here.
Yeah, JJonak just looking for those clicks through the side. He's doing a ton. He's got the trance.
Grab's going to be coming through, locking up the San Francisco Shock. Violet pops the Transcendence. Moth going lower and lower. They're able to focus fire him as Meko gets the kill. Now answering trance out from JJonak. And alongside the Lucio goes down Super. So losing out on that front line. Violet going to be picked off here right at the end. NYXL holding on to the point, not surrendering a single percentage so far in the second round.
In this 3-3 mirror on Mecha base, there's a 50-50 chance basically of where your opponent's going to come out. So the Excelsior are just trying to track both sides and get ready to use this AoE shatter on the side the Shock come out of. They know there's no grab since they already shut it down. It's going to be a split though.
Yeah, bomb in from the back. Super still going to be locked down, but Mono's going to be taken out. Sinatra finds the kill. Sound barrier a little bit too late from Anamo to keep him alive. Violet under some fire. Rascal as well getting tagged up off screen. Rascal will be taken down.
Violet's cut off.
From Meko, not going to find anything. Super trying to stay alive. Drops the hammer. Catches 2. Can they finish off Anamo? That's going to be the pin coming in. Super still, though, in a corner, backed up on. Will be collapsed upon, and that will be the kill coming in on a him.
In this meta, to split like that is often a huge risk. No remake here for Choyobin. That's going to be the map. They split in half. New York chopped them in half. Violet and Rascal were cut off on the other side. An absolute stomping there. They didn't commit to one side or the other. They committed to both, but that means 3 on one side, 3 on the other. New York identify it, come and collapse on the supports. There's no escape, there's no way out, and sure, many of the members of the tank line got onto the point, but they could not win the fight after the supports were dead.
What a turnaround here from NYXL. 100-0 in Mecha base after losing the first round on Sanctuary. That means we have to go downtown to settle this all.
This is a map where Sinatra has had issues in the past, overextending, trying to get that damage done over the point, but at the same time, given how he already played on Sanctuary very differently, and how open this map is compared to Mecha base, this is where we have to look at Violet's line of sight. Can he threaten JJonak so that JJonak cannot poke the tank line down? Super, as you can see, very far forward here. They're actually looking for the aggressive engage.
Bit different from what we saw from them on Sanctuary. Was that passiveness that really played out for the San Francisco Shock, but after losing that round, maybe. Blood's boiling, getting all riled up. Trying to find some meaningful damage. So far, neither side really going to get much. JJonak goes low in the back. He'll be able to stay alive for now. Point going to be unlocked. NY gonna have that inside track as they push their way down.
JJonak took too much damage trying to take the high ground away from Meko. Had to retreat. They are going to get this point back, or they're trying to.
Yeah, they drop in. That's just going to be the collapse on the mono. They find the kill. Libero here, dangerously low up into the front lines as well. Getting tagged up. Violet just sitting in that cubby trying to stay alive. JJonak's going to go ahead and invest that Transcendence. Tries to keep Meko in there, but he cannot do so. They lose out on the suit. That's going to be Libero now taken down. So big overcommitment on the Transcendence from JJonak as the flip comes in. San Francisco Shock only allowed 21% to go over to New York.
This is the fight that New York should not take. This is not their play style. San Francisco Shock did well to force them to come to the point, to force Excelsior to be aggressive. Mono tried, he failed, he was caught. They committed the trance even. That was a terrible fight for the Excelsior. San Francisco Shock made them play their game, and they simply couldn't do it. They liked the slow style, not the aggressive style.
Just keeping tabs on JJonak. Pushes around with the rest of the squad. Just going to be sitting on that high ground for now. Sinatra looking for an opportunity. Drops in the Graviton Surge. Locks him up. Knows that there's no Transcendence, no sound barrier to save them. And this will just be the cleanup. Answering grab does come through. Draws at the sound barrier from San Francisco Shock, but they will maintain control. And they're still holding on to a Transcendence for Violet.
It's massive, the lead right now, and they're just seeing stagger kills come through here. Nene defeated with no charge. He will return to the point with no ult as well. Very unfortunate that JJonak used his trance in the previous fight, in that scrappy fight. They thought they could turn, but it was too late to save Mono. Now in the follow-up fight, that missing trance is what gives San Francisco Shock an insanely ult-efficient hold, and now they're looking to take this map.
Drop down coming through again, but Mono can't really commit to it. Has to get the sound barrier through from Anamo to fully encourage him. JJonak, however, going to be cut off into the back. Will be popped out. The Shatter comes down, catches the Reinhardt, but the Transcendence is going to be there from JJonak to keep him alive. JJonak so far going to be finished off. The rest of the Shock kiting their way back over to the point. Drop onto the low ground. 80% moving up for them. They lose the point. Not going to be the end of the world. But Otto's pushing forward aggressively. He's looking for that Shatter.
Committing the trance.
Lower and lower. The trance will be coming through as Nene gets closer and closer to that next Graviton Surge. Sinatra gets knocked to the ground, but will be able to stay alive. The flip has come through, however. And YXL starting to move up. Super playing around the corner. Almost takes out Mono. But JJonak, he answers back. He finds a kill under the opposing line. That's going to be the cleanup. And New York Excelsior now will have the point.
Shock did not want to play to percentage advantage, control meter advantage. They wanted to play to win the map in that fight. They knew Sinatra had a ton of ult charge. Violet committed the trance. They thought they could win it despite being down JJonak. It doesn't work out. Now that critical ultimate is gone, and the New York Excelsior hold high ground, hold a defensive trance, and suddenly Sinatra's grab doesn't feel so scary anymore.
Yep, Violet's going to have to build up a Transcendence very quickly. 60% at the moment for NYXL. Grab going to be coming through. Lobs it in, locks him up. Moth getting focus fire, taken down. The bomb will catch a couple members as well as JJonak gets popped out of the mech. The clean sweep getting ready to come through.
You can't be looking for ult charge builds on pushes like this when Excelsior's over 70% and they still maintain ult lead here. There's no Transcendence for Violet. That push felt suicidal. Mono looking for the sneaky Shatter that may deny them to touch the point. They don't know where he is.
They have no idea.
They're not
going to be seeing him playing up in the front.
Here he comes.
They're moving their way around. Mono
sneaky.
He makes so much noise, though. They should be able to track him. That's why he's crouching.
I don't know.
He's walking forward. Is anyone looking left? Okay, they finally do spot him out. Not going to be able to collapse on him and get a kill, however, so not going to be punished for his tactics.
He's still got the Shatter, though.
Super, however, off by himself. Gets the bubble right at the last second of the sound barrier. Going to be coming through the Shatter out from Mono. Not going to be able to find anything. Answering barriers in. Raspel's already been taken down right before he could get that rally online. Bomb out. Not going to find anything for JJonak. Gets it back into the mech, however. In control of the point. 90% moving up. NYXL getting ready to get the retake here at overtime. Will be able to do so, but San Francisco Shock has to get onto the point right now. The rally's going to be out for Libero, now expiring. Everyone armored up, super focused in the corner, taken down by Mono. And this might just be the way that it all ends.
Sinatra,
San Francisco Shock tried to stay in here.
Trying to get a grab, he just can't get it in time.
He's doing his damnedest, but so far doesn't quite have it. Nene, in the meantime, does have one himself. Slams it down, locks him up. Sinatra answers back, but it's going to be NYXL who have the numbers advantage. They have the ults, they have the cleanup. That's going to be the wipe coming through, and NYXL will be able to get the victory here to kick things off in the series on Busan.
Insanely much closer than most fans would have expected. Alterations coming through from the Shock, but it was their greed trying to turn that 5v6 fight away that cost them the map.
A very tight knit there. Let's see if Shock can tie it up when we come back from the break.
The Overwatch League is powered by Intel. Game, record, stream without compromise on Intel Core i7. And by Omen by HP, the official PC and display of the Overwatch League. Welcome to Assist of the Week, presented by State Farm. After the community discovered a crazy trick on Hollywood with Zarya and Lucio, the Atlanta Reign put it into practice against the Paris Eternal. After taking the point and beginning the payload push, Masa decided to push DeFran where no pro Zarya has gone before.
Who came up with that? Was it a coach? Was it you?
I think we actually saw it on someone else do it on Reddit first. And we just like, that, if we can pull that off in game, it's gonna be so cool. So we just went for it.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. NYXL able to take the first map in this series, but it's pretty darn close there.
Certainly was. Achilleos, the Shock, bringing in a new style, playing a more defensive Sinatra there on the Zarya, having Violet challenge JJonak. Very terrifying task, but he did it well enough to prevent the poking style that we see. New York tries to damage their opponent's teams down to half health, then they speed boost, and then they collapse, and then they get the kills, but it wasn't possible when the Shock was playing back. They had control of the point, and Violet controlled line of sight.
Well, Busan out of the way. Nambani coming up next, and this is going to be where NYXL actually really have to prove themselves, because so far do not have a victory on this map.
Yep. The map against Dynasty was egregious there. The
full
failed attack, yeah. And New York have, you know, the first map win under their belts. That was so important because if they end up losing that very close Busan, suddenly San Francisco Shock come in favored on this map. We'll see Mono trying to hold the choke with Nene's bubbles and that AoE, but not Winston actually. Interestingly enough, he will be running the Reinhardt, quite rare to see on this map, especially for the Excelsior.
Yep. Well, smashing them right here out the gate. Swings coming through. People going to be going down onto the low ground, including Super. As he plays forward here onto the corner. Mono taking a couple hits. Ryan's just trying to get close enough to get some hammer swings onto each other. Now going to be able to find him, but Super going to be taken down. A couple members of NYXL so dangerously low.
JJonak
exchange with the Reinhardts. Now Nana going to be taken out. So the damage still going to be here for the Shock, but Sinatra gets stunned up. Violet and Rascal going to be gone, and JJonak and Mekko are going to be able to claw their way back in.
That was all JJonak. Look at his ult charge, 89%. He sat on the high ground, taking pot shots no one could contest. He was the only member of the Excelsior who stayed up high. He's the range damage dealer. I know he's a support player, but he's the one doing the majority of that damage while healing his teammates. We'll see an unfortunate stagger here for Choi Ho-bin. That's the kind of play you want to see from JJonak. I know everyone loves to see big right-click kills, solo kills, but it's the damage output here that turns this fight around, and now they've got the defensive trance here against Sinatra's faster Graviton Surge.
Well, a couple ultimates going to be coming online. Very similar timings here. Or Shatters about to be up for both of these Ryans. Mono getting that bubble straight away. And as they start pushing their way out, the Shatter going to be coming down. Catches a couple there, yeah. That's going to be the cleanup coming through. 3 members instantly going to be taken out. Choi Ho-bin, they will spare him. They will show some mercy this time, it would seem. As Mono overextends slightly, but seems like he will still be safe. Has the entire backup here from his squad.
Just wants to get a little bit more ult charge here. The Excelsior really only using those two ultimates, the Rally there and the Shatter. So they're still on track here. If support ultimates are good against the ensuing attack, Sinatra's grab should be the opener. Look at JJonak trying to cut them off.
Comes around to the side. Mono going to be going low, but now it's going to be the grab coming through. He's still playing up so close. Now the grab locking him in. Bomb's coming in. They have not been able to finish him off. The Transcendence comes out from JJonak, and he just stays alive the entire time. Now Violet pops his own. They're down onto the point. They get the
got
first
the
hit
barrier.
coming through.
They've got the sound barrier.
Mono going to be looking at the match. The sound barrier comes in. The bombs into the back, but Mono has the block on it. Denies that damage away. Keeps his squad safe. JJonak nearly picking up that second tick. Violet in the back room, spamming away, but he doesn't have that great of a line of sight here to get too much damage in. Still going to be building up, trying to get that trance online. Over 50% now, ready to go. Echo pushes back. Damage still coming through. Super trying to play up into the front. Mono oversteps, doesn't have any support, doesn't have enough healing. Will be taken down by the fire strike, but JJonak is able to go ahead and answer back. Gets rid of Super. Echo taken out.
He's got the trance.
Now the trance is going to be coming through, trying to keep them alive. The focus fire comes in. They're able to find Libero, pushing forward as they try to turn this around with a grab of their own. But Nene will be taken down. Just wasn't quite enough. And that will be point A going the way of San Francisco.
Teamwork and target selection much better for the Shock here. It's going to get them the point. It wasn't a great time bank, but it was a good one. And New York, some incredible moments there, saving Mono there on the high ground, but it was expensive in terms of ultimates. Sure, JJonak built a second trance there. It was hopeful that would help them get the point back, prevent the take there, but it was expensive. It is costly, as now San Francisco Shock have this cart here, have the Shatter available. No support ultimates yet for the Excelsior, so that is something that they're going to be missing, and it only really bought them 5 to 10 seconds of time.
They held on to Libero. If he wasn't focus fired so well by the Shock during that grab, even through the Transcendence healing, maybe they could have made that work, but now we'll just have to see how the Streets phase defense is going to go. Shatter going to be coming in, but the shield is up. Super blocking out the majority of his squad. Now the counter push. Mono taking a ton of damage. Will just get picked off. Super finds the hit. Chasing forward. Violet going to be the one exchanges. JJonak does take him down, but 2 gone on the side of NYXL. And the cart is just going to go ahead and advance very cleanly into B, making up for that lost time at A.
NYXL, a lot of their strategy this entire season has been revolving around Mono tanking the damage, then converting on fights after cooldowns and ammo have been wasted. But instead, San Francisco Shock have fully committed to killing him in a lot of these fights, and no amount of healing can stop him from going down when there's that much target priority on the front side. Reinhardt.
And a lot of damage being taken by him now. Rally's going to be out. Libero allows him to get back over onto the cart to start things off. They can see this is not the usual confidence from the NYXL. They're playing a lot more timidly, coming back and forth. Grab's going to be in. Violent Transcendence will be coming out. Bombs into the back, looking for a pick. Not going to find anything. Now it's going to be the answering grab. Bomb up over the top. JJonak looking for a pick. He's not going to be able to find anything. Sound barrier through. The one from Shock expired. That means the NYXL will be able to push back through.
Great shatter.
Control of the choke.
Great shatter by Mono in the chaos. He makes it happen. The Shock on themselves now very low on ultimates. They're going to have a few eco pushes here, build up those ultimates, slowly get back into the swing of things, but they're always going to be one step behind in terms of ult economy after that heavy of a commitment just around the corner. Huge shatter here for Mono. Without that, it's a different story, but now he's basically guaranteed them for the next minute better ultimates, and they're even going to use that advantage to push to the spawn.
I mean, look how far forward they're playing right now. I mean, this could be disaster if the Shock managed to come out on top. Anamo, sliver of HP, doesn't manage to escape with that wall ride. Grab thrown down straight onto the cart. No Transcendence, no sound barrier available. Which means the kills will just start coming through for NYXL yet again. Violet gets the Transcendence, pops it a little bit late. They only lose out on Rascal, though, and JJonak Smeg, so they're still trying to stay in this. JJonak matches. JJonak gets the remake. Decent spot to be in. JJonak now going to be taken down. San Francisco can start advancing the carting as they pop Meko out.
This is the aggressive trance we saw fail on Busan, but works here on Numbani. Keeps Sinatra tapped up. He's totally full health. He has high energy. He still does, and he's got the grab. Here it goes.
To go for the grab coming through. Locks him up. The pin on the Libero takes him out. Cart will be halted 21 meters away, but 3 kills come through the shatter.
Too.
Locks down the Diva. They'll clean him up. And with Meko getting taken out here at the end, that will be the car advancing with time in the bank. San Francisco, some roughness at the beginning, some roughness at the end, but they get it in the end.
Wasn't perfect, wasn't easy, but they clean it up at the end. Violet this time comes up big with the Transcendence, and they turn the fight that was otherwise lost.
Well, 1:22 on the clock. Let's see what NYXL can do when we come back. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. The Shock able to get to the finish line on Numbani. 1:22 in the time bank. NYXL getting ready to go out on their attack. Last time we saw them on Numbani, Seoul Dynasty was able to full hold them.
Yep,
So
and
let's
it will
see how they
be
fare.
once again the Reinhardt for defense here for Super. Mono will match Libero here with the Ana, very likely just for an attempted sleep onto perhaps a scouting Toyo Bin. And we'll swap over to the Brigida, as seen here. As they approach here, the big factors for the New York Excelsior's attack, they're normally weak on this map because JJonak cannot get line of sight onto the attackers. He can't chip away. They can't play their patented defensive style here. They have to be the aggressors, and Shock is already set up to deal with that.
Yeah, fully expecting Super to be around the corner. Get a couple swings in.
They're so reliant on JJonak dealing that damage that they just cannot use the staircase. They're going to take the lower ground approach now. Anamo up high.
Working his way along the wall there.
And they just can't find an opening here.
Which way do we want to go?
They're hoping for JJonak to get an opening to where he could pick off one of the members or start to get them low, and then they're going to press the go button. It just is not happening.
They start working their way out. The bubble does not land on Mono. Goes over to Anamo. Wrong one, and now they almost lose out on their Rhine. Does barely manage to stay alive, but you see how much of a thrashing he took reflected in the ult charge again from these Reinhardts.
This is now the cracks for the Excelsior starting to show in their playstyle. It's no surprise they're weak on this map, and they cannot play their style. They have to be aggressive. They have to speed boost in, and it's not working.
All right, well, the bubble does get on the Mono this time, so he's able to stay alive, but now drops the Logar. The Shatter comes in from Super, knocks them all right on their butts, and they will go right back into the spawn room.
New York looked lost.
Woo! What a shutdown that was.
It just feels almost random here. Achilles, the engages. The missed bubble there that was placed on Anamo 2 fights ago was the most egregious, but even that last attack, New York is not breaking through. They're not able to find targets. San Francisco is cutting them apart. They are going to try for it again here, but again, if JJonak can't find the damage, seeming to fall apart. Early bubble here, and that is no good. They have to let it go. They have to retreat. During that cooldown, you're just not going to find a better fight against a team who has positional advantage.
Well, drop down to match. Super going to be playing here.
Toyo Bin finds an opening.
Yeah, he's going to be very low, though. From lower and lower with that mech as he tries to stay alive. Libero pushing forward the rally out. Rascal matching. Choi Hopin still taking a beating, trying to stay alive. NYXL in onto the point. San Francisco playing into the back. No one dead yet. They start re-advancing, denying away the second tick. San Francisco, can they hold on to this? Or can NYXL get the finish. A minute and a half about remaining on the clock. Rascal going to be taken down as JJonak finds the kill. Super going lower and lower, loses out of the barrier. Grab comes in, trying to lock them up. Bomb up from above. JJonak not going to be able to find anything. Makes it back into the mech, however. Pin from downtown comes in, and Mono takes Super for a ride. Gets the kill. Sound barrier comes out from Moth, however. And NYXL, they're off the point for now, but they're starting to inch their way back through as Violet gets taken down.
Choyobin's just going to have to let this go. They wanted to delay this, and delay they did. It's a terrible time bank here for New York, but it's pretty similar to how Shock started this map. Looked a little bit weak there on their first approaches, but it was Choyobin they found. It was Meko who challenged him when he was facing the wrong direction there to dematrix his incoming missiles, and he nearly got the kill there. That's the first time New York had control over the point, and they snowballed the fight from there. It was a longer fight, but there's still a chance for them to take their first new body here as they roll around the corner.
Yeah, but unlike NYXL, they're going to be able to play this corner and try to get that spawn camp, quote-unquote, running through. Push back just a bit as they take a little bit of damage. And then they try to get that grab online.
Very close. High energy, too. Got to be careful about this. They have to respect this. No trance.
Bubble going to be used. Burst his way up to 100 energy. They're forcing him back. Grab comes in from Sinatra, but he only catches an ammo. They will be able to finish off the Lucio as the sound barrier shield comes in. Cart going to be halted up, and now the responding grab comes in. Bomb up over the top. Shatters out. Doesn't find much, and they're not going to be able to get any kills. JJonak going to be popped out. It's about as good as it got from that grab bomb combo. San Francisco Shock still trying to hold on, trying to gain control of this cart. JJonak takes a lot of damage, but works his way back, still holding on to some of that armor, keeps himself alive. The cart will start to advance again.
He's doing so much damage for his squad here, and they will be chased away by, in part by his damage alone. Now San Francisco going to re-engage here. They have that sound barrier about to come online.
Mono going to be isolated, but they can't finish him off yet. They're still pushing forward. They're finally able to find him with that final hammer swing. Did have to use the sound barrier in that fight, but if they can find any extra kills, that'd be huge for them.
I can't believe they're turning this.
They go ahead, they take down Sinatra, they immediately throw down the grab, pop JJonak out of the mech. NYXL, despite losing their main tank, still looking to close this out. They'll finish off JJonak now. 3 meters left to go.
Meko
They will be able to push this.
Ever since his days on LW Blue, always a player known for self-destructs and defense matrix, but in this match, he has made so many individual decisions that have actually come up big for the NYXL. Identifying JJonak earlier on A, coming through there, splitting the Shock roster in half. They flipped that lost fight around through his play. Individually, he's making a huge impact right now.
Well, JJonak just going to be in the back. Transcendence is ready to go. Rallies out from Libero. They push around the final corner. JJonak still just going to be sniping, but doesn't find too many targets, but also doesn't have a reason to dump the ult yet. Rally's going to expire. The armor is still there for now. Cart getting closer and closer. A minute plus at the moment here for NYXL if they can get this finish.
He's got to hold that trance to the last second. If he does, they should be able to burn through a lot of this time bank, which means that Sinatra cannot overextend. Look how far back he's playing compared to usual.
Yep, just keeping himself around the corner. Shield up, Super blocking out those orbs from JJonak. Sinatra desperately trying to get some energy here.
No energy, yeah.
Doesn't get much. It's also saving the bubbles for the actual engagement, it would seem.
The longer this goes, the better for the Shock.
Okay, grab's going to be thrown in. Locks him up, the bomb coming in from above. Sound barrier through, answering grab comes in to get the pin on the Mono. Take him out, but unable to find much. The shatter coming down, but Libero is up into the front, and Mono even had the shield raised, so double denial coming in, so Super gets nothing for his efforts there. Mono in the meantime, shatter rather, going to be online. Slams it down, doesn't catch anything either. The cart still just going to be sitting here. As NYXL, their time bank gets ready to dip in below San Francisco's.
JJonak has line of sight here. He's starting to rack up the damage. He's breaking through that barrier.
Whoop comes in. JJonak, however, right up into the front, will get popped out. Almost taken down. Cart starts advancing again. Super gets the Zarya bubbles. He tries to stay alive. He's the one that has to be glued to this cart. He's the one who has to keep this one contested. They both hit the ground. He gets picked on there by Meko, taken down. The cart almost pushes in. JJonak for the Baby Diva. Manages to tag it for a moment, but with the grab, locking up everybody else. The Shock cannot continue the defense. They will lose out on that push.
Very impressive start here, though, for the Shock. They better the time bank, and they had such an advantage when you look back at A.
11 seconds the difference. Let's see who comes out on top for Nemani when we come back. here we go. Overtime, getting ready to roll through. NYXL get the finish. Take a look at the final graph here.
It's pretty easy when you know that JJonak is not there. He's already been demexed. You don't have to worry about that. You can lock him down. Transcendence or no, they can't touch the point. Transcendence not going to allow them to get in there. So, in terms of the A defense, it has been, in my opinion, vastly superior Shock. They've been able to deal with New York Excelsior's style so well, even though their last attack wasn't stellar themselves. So with the defense first here and the time bank advantage, it's looking very good for the Shock right now as long as they don't botch this first defense. Will be the staircase approach for the Excelsior once again.
And we saw how hesitant NYXL was the first time out here on their attack, but they're just going all in now, it would seem. Grasswell going to be taken down. Knocked to the floor. Mono staying alive with the shield raised. First blood going to be grabbed by NYXL. Is that going to be enough for them to lock down the point? We'll have to wait and see. Libero going to be taken down. So far an exchange of the exact same characters, but JJonak does lose out on the mech. Meko able to find that. The Baby Diva going to be sailing off the side of the map.
The problem is better charge and more damage here for Nene. And that is what's going to get them this point. They need to go over and touch it. Respawn's coming through, but it's a little bit too late here for the Shock to contest, especially with no support ultimates. Great start for the Excelsior. What took them many pushes previously, they get it the first time, and it's through Anamo, setting up that protection play there when they crashed into Rascal. That was the opening kill that gave them this fight. It took a minute to do it, but the cart is rolling, and based on what we just saw in the previous round, you wouldn't have expected New York would have been able to do it this clean.
Well, start working their way forward, playing around the corner. Are the Shock. Waiting for them to get a little bit closer.
This Grav, Violet is should just barely have to transfer it. Huge matchup there between these two ultimates. He's got it.
Ready to roll. Sinatra 14% behind. Grav's going to be coming out, locks him up. Transcendence is out from Violet, but they managed to focus fire. Sinatra, JJonak coming up with a kill. So now that turnaround Grav, the answer to try to take him out, going to be taken away from them as Moth will be finished off. Super going to be going down, and this is going to be a lot of distance gained by NY.
NYXL just getting this free push right now, and with both support ultimates available still, even though the Shock are going to look to re-engage with that grab, they're not going to have any energy. Nene had so much energy in that last fight. He was able to push Sinatra down, kill him despite the trance healing. Sinatra will have to build energy before he can do that. So it looks like this fight is lose-lose for San Francisco Shock right now, barring a huge mistake from the Excelsior. They nearly have 6 ultimates to hold this card.
Well, they managed to stop it 2.5 meters before B. Super going to be booped over onto the side. They almost just push it in, but JJonak goes back forward to keep it contested. Sinatra lobbing in these right clicks, trying to weaken that front line. JJonak low in the back. Answering Shatter comes out, locks up a few. Grab now, going to be finding JJonak and Libero here at the front. The pin comes in, they manage to get rid of the Brig. Bomb through. It's going to be breaking the Ryan shield. There's no one else going to be taken down by those self-destructs, but now Mono stunned up, isolated. They find the kill. The OT starting to plummet faster and faster. Lockup comes through onto the Shock with that grab out from Nene, but no kills to be found. Instead, it's going to be Meko taken out, and that will be it. But a very good push from the Excelsior, considering the time bank 11 seconds shyer of that of the Shocks, and they still almost make the beat.
And also given how really indecisive New York was on their first round of attack, where they were not able to find, comfort really with how they approach, how they move around the map. So you feel great if you're a New York fan because you probably think that they were going to make it that far. Huge play there in the end by Super to get that charge kill onto Libero. Without that, the fight is so much harder to execute with both support ultimates online. It was the pin they needed to really finish that off and stop the cart in its tracks. Not an unwinnable map by any means for the San Francisco Shock, but you're a little bit concerned. You felt like you had it, you had it. All you had to do was defend. It's the last nail in the coffin on this map, but it doesn't turn out that way. New York, again, will run mono on the Rhine over the Winston here. And they just want to utilize JJonak's damage behind the shield here. A more permanent shield than Winston's bubble. But I think we will see Super swap back over. I don't think he's going to be doing a Wrecking Ball attack here. It's just
yeah, would be pretty surprising to see that. So
pretty crazy to try that one, unless you're the Chengdu Hunters. Still a little bit crazy.
For them, it's crazy to try to run a Reinhardt.
Sure, fair point.
But here we go. 122 at the start. Really good fire strike there from Mono. This is multiple members netting as
Armor
well.
pack been used already, by the way. That's huge. The super comes through. He does not have that.
They're pushing their way up here. Super going to get stunned up at the moment. Shield still raised. Meko coming in from behind, offering up so much damage. They will be able to take him out.
That was actually huge that the armor pack came out so early for Rascal, because that's one of your biggest tools to win that Reinhardt tank battle, or the Zarya, depending on who goes up there and is maximizing that damage. They had to use it early. Well, the damage that came out from New York, but that was what really cost them there in that even fight in the doorway. Anama once again looking for a knockback here.
Pushing their way forward. Basically have to get it on this attack. Only 35 seconds remaining. Moth gets the right click, trying to knock them away, trying to keep them off of his main tank. Rascal manages to pop Meko out. Super staying alive. Violet under a lot of fire. Nene goes into the back, tries to find him, but the Transcendence will come through.
He's going to have a
Meko
grab.
and Mono both going to be taken down now. Libero, San Francisco Shock. It seems like they've done it as they finish off Nene here. We'll be able to get this cap on 8, but there is still so far to go. They've only got a grab online.
Remember the support ultimates previously, they had those were what they needed to win it. This time, there's no support ult because Violet used that Transcendence. Nene wisely holds his grab. That's the win condition right now for the New York Excelsior in this overtime push. They are nearly at the big 6, but it's the grab that San Francisco Shock is going to struggle so much to deal with. Perhaps we'll see Choyobin make a big play here and eat the grab, but I think that's their best shot at stopping this. They're so down on ultimates right now.
Well, right now, Troy Hobin's going to be the one playing at the card, keeping that one contested, making sure that it's rolling. The grabs comes out from either side. Good shatter in from Super, locks him up, gets the pin there on Amano with the sound barrier, helps keep him alive. The fire strike to the face will take him down. Now Moth's going to be gone. Troy Hobin nearly popped out of the Mac. Will be, but has that self-destruct to try to make it back in, but they're zoned off. The OTP plummets, and NYXL will move up 2-0 in the series.
Redemption within the map as they struggled to attack A, got a great attack on the follow-up, had a better fight on A on the defense, which led to an ultimate advantage, and that's what puts them up 2-0, one win away from the 7-0 undefeated run.
Nearly have it. We'll see if they can finish it off when we come back after halftime.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by T-Mobile. High ground or low ground, T-Mobile has you covered. And by State Farm. Whatever life brings your way, State Farm is here to help life go right.
Excelsior are going for a perfect 7-0 stage 1, and they're just one map away up 2-0 over the San Francisco Shock at the half. Welcome to halftime, everybody. Malik here. We got Bryn, we got Zoe, and we got ourselves a match. A bit of a war of attrition so far, I would say. Yeah, right?
Definitely some quality Overwatch, if I do say so myself. Backwards and forwards between two good teams. We've been waiting so long for this, Malik, you know.
I'm with you. I'm with you. And you know what? I want to see some of that quality highlighted in our Insights powered by Intel. Please, take it away, Bryn.
Yeah, our Insights powered by Intel today is pointing out how both of these teams are going to be using their self-destructs to try and create space as these games go on. So you can see, as they're setting up right now, Troy Hoban is on the other side of the map. I'll pause it so you can actually see him as it's going on. This is a set play by San Francisco. You can see him highlighted in back there. He's going to send that self-destruct downtown, try and split New York up. New York going to back off because of it, and that's San Francisco Shock's go time right away. You can see him. They're going to engage right away onto Mano, trying to take advantage of that straight away. As they do, they take him out. But here's where things get turned around. So this is not just an insights for the San Francisco Shock, but also New York. And this is what both teams are doing well. Meko now, it's his turn to use the self-destruct. He's going to send it into the back line, and they're going to get a much better one off because they're going to split San Francisco Shock forwards and backwards, trying to get out of the line of sight of it. Now, Meko ends up beefing his self-destruct, but it doesn't matter. They get the same effect anyway. Shock back off around the corner, and New York immediately know what to do. They just jump straight into the back line. They blow them up. And this is something that both these teams, again, are fantastic at. It's recognizing how to use their ultimates at the right times to get those win conditions out of them. And a lot of teams, they will just save their self-destructs. They won't use them aggressively like that because they want to save it for the Graviton Surge that's coming up. But both teams are so good at tracking what ultimates are available at what times. They know that both teams are not going to have Graviton Surge, that they know to use them aggressively like that. So this is like the high-level Overwatch. It's going so high, it's going over my head sometimes, you know.
This is elated.
It's so good. It's so good. I'm so happy.
Like, it feels like it's Christmas today for you.
Yeah.
It really does.
Yeah, that's nice.
But I like that you pointed that out because a lot of people, they see Diva's self-destruct and they think automatically elims. How many elims are you getting? But it's also...
It's about the space, dude.
It's
exactly.
crowd control. It's so important.
It's about creating that space. So, you know, sometimes, like, you see these bombs, you might type NA bomb lol in the chat or something, you know, you think it's not that good. No, it's the space that they're creating and the kills they get off the back of it. That's what makes them so good.
Right. All right, well, let's go ahead and jump into some highlights on Numbani because I thought that was another war of attrition, a very close match. These teams are scrapping today.
Yeah, honestly, what surprised me the most is that San Francisco Shock actually managed to force their playstyle, to force their pace onto New York. And this is something we've rarely ever seen. Now we see New York having to go in aggressively because somehow Shock, due to their positioning, due to their poking, due to their engagements, they forced New York to go in aggressive. And as we discussed in the pre-show, New York is a very passive team. They wait, they sit back, they wait for a mistake and then punish it. But it was a punishing back and forth. And we saw JJonak got very little done at times here because Shock just played around it.
Yeah, it was definitely a part of that as well. Wolf, I think, was mentioning during the cast about the nature of Numbani as a map. I mean, you can't get as many aggressive angles. JJonak can't be going for those plays as much, which is also part of the reason why we haven't seen New York as successful on Numbani as a map. But, you know, like you said, so it's been super backwards and forwards between these two teams. And, you know, New York have now finally got a bit of pressure applied to them. This is the first time we're seeing New York sweating a little bit. You know, they're having to actually pull out all the stops to win this. But it's just high-tempo gameplay. You know, we're seeing these war of attrition, as you put it, Malik. I'm just so happy, man. I don't know if you can tell.
I'm with you, though. I'm enjoying it.
It's leaking, man. It's just, oh, man, it's so good.
We're having ourselves a good time today here. All right, so... New York, they're tested today, but they're still up 2-0. If you're the San Francisco Shock, is there anything that you need to do differently this time? Do you need to be more aggressive? Do you need to disengage a little more? What do you need to do?
Shock are playing super aggressive.
For a second, I thought I get to talk.
Sorry.
You go ahead. No, Brent, you're so excited. I really don't want to take this away from you.
I really want to jump in. Shock, they play aggressive. They try and force their opponents to make mistakes by playing faster tempo. I love to see it, but as a result, they are making more mistakes as well. Rascal is getting picked off first a lot in these team fights. They need to pull that back a little bit. They need to clean up their play, and that's how they're going to be having a chance. I'm sorry. I'm so
Sorry, get a word in. We need to hear from you.
I'm just jumping in.
No, I think it was really just minor mistakes. It was the few positional mistakes you just pointed out from Rascal. They shouldn't get picked off because other than that, they're really doing everything right. They are applying the right amount of pressure and they are forcing NYXL to come out of their shell. And honestly, if you're looking at the statistics between the individual matchups, they're very, very close. Super and Mono are almost dead even. The only thing setting them apart is Super died one more time and everything else is almost exactly the same. So that's super impressive.
Super's playing really good. I think he's still mad at you, Zoe. He's been
I
going
said he's super good now. Dear me.
All right, guys. Well, we'll see if the San Francisco Shock can pull off the reverse sweep after the break. Stay tuned. More Overwatch coming soon. They don't just play for a team. They play for every fan, every rival, every moment, every match. And when everyone watching expects the best, they perform with the best.
Ladies and gentlemen, NYXL moving to match point. They close out on Volskaya Industries. They will be 7-0 in the stage. All their matches done. Not dropping a single one. Already have the top spot in the Atlantic Division clinched, but can they go ahead and get the perfect record? About to find out.
You know, I feel like it's almost becoming the identity, unfortunately, for Shock of like close but no cigar, right? I mean, they are so close in a lot of these maps. They are going down to the wire, but it's just the lack of finishing power. They can't close these out. A lot of their series they've lost so far here, which might, you know, cause them to lose playoffs, is just, it's closer than the scoreline says. I gotta say, you know, I'm worried for them going into Dorado, but for Volskaya, I think this is the map they have to win.
Well, I mean, quite literally. The reverse sweep. To try to turn things around here.
This is where you make a statement. This is where you change the momentum of the series here, is a dominant win on Volskaya.
Change the narrative.
Absolutely.
As much as you can. Not going to be seeing any substitutions from either side. Still going to be sticking through. San Francisco set up here on the defense first. Not going to be going for any of that double sniper that we were seeing just last night from the Hunters. We'll be keeping it very standard with the 3-3.
San Francisco Shock. We'll see how they control this high ground, but that is what A is all about. Especially against a player like JJonak, who is going to be looking for a different angle. How long can you hold that high ground? As the Excelsior probably operate a lot around the left side approach for them, attacker's perspective, to get JJonak up there. Then they'll drop their tanks to the low ground, and JJonak will take pot shots. Slow roll over there. JJonak stays at the back. They're actually going to try to approach the stairs, actually, Shock, so it forces the NYXL to take the right side.
Wrap around to the other side. Good charge there from Super. Does get him up onto the high ground, but now he's going to be dropping down. Doesn't have that charge to match. So, had Mono. Wanted to try to take him out. He would not be able to knock the enemy Reinhardt to the ground. Echo taking a lot of damage. Will retreat inside the garage. As both Rhines meet here onto the point. Mono again taking a lot of damage. JJonak with a really good flank angle. Now pushes up to the high ground to make sure that he is going to be safe. YXL split off right now, the supports in the tank line, but San Francisco can't get inside the garage to try to eliminate them. They know they're going to be collapsed upon.
Good cooldown management here for JJonak. Been doing a lot of damage, and JJonak is isolated.
Yeah, but instantly knocked down below half HP. JJonak doesn't want to mess with him. Knows how dangerous of a task that is, but Sinatra does manage to find Nene as he tries to get back inside. Grab's going to be online. It's going to be a very good start. Sinatra starts shredding people left and right. That's going to be the reset call coming through.
I feel like the best that Shock has done in this series is isolate JJonak and make him less of a threat. They did not allow New York to get on the high ground here, where now you see Moth is standing, by engaging in the stairwell instead, which New York hates straight-up fights, so they went around the other side. Then they were able to cut New York in half, prevent JJonak from really doing damage. Violet massively out damaging him in that last fight. And now you have this weird situation where New York comes back, but they have worse tools, and San Francisco has already built such a better ult economy here. Time is ticking on the clock. Let's see if Shock fights in the staircase again. New York is trying to challenge them there, asking the question, will you come to meet us here, as JJonak waits to hit those right clicks as they poke through the doorway.
Oh, so we're the way up. Mono instantly taken down. Now Meko stunned up as well as he tries to retreat. Very nicely done. San Francisco, 6 ultimates online. Excelsior getting there. But the thing is, if they have to invest those ultimates to take A, the snowball opportunity on B is all but gone.
Shock has prepared so well against New York. It's these small little mind games that you see where the Shock poke out of the doorway, force New York back. New York backs off, saying, okay, come into the doorway. We're going to have the advantage positionally here. But Shock has the defender's advantage. The clock is on their side, so New York actually is the one who has to make the move. And as we saw in Numani, it's not always easy for this squad. But now they have 6 versus 6 ultimates, 12 ultimates online. This is the fight New York needs to take. Well, we may just see a full hold here. They're having to go further around the outside right now, but that means they're not going to have high ground control here.
Wrap around the back end. Do they go through the garage? Do they drop down right now? Still seeming like they're making up their minds. Mono's going to be going down. That's Zarya bubble. Get a lot of damage on the Rascal, but he's going to be holding on. Has the rally up to keep himself safe. That ain't not that high of energy. Doesn't do much to the Reinhardt at the moment.
They want Sinatra, but he can't be killed. He's got the bubble.
You know, he's still trying to hold these bubbles to keep everybody safe. Bomb's going to be coming up. They lock him in. Violet there with the Transcendence. Sound barrier going to be chained through. Shatter comes out from both sides. Multiple members knocked to the ground on the side of San Francisco, but no one going to be taken out yet. Ryoban tries to make it back into the mech, but JJonak denies that away. Crucially, the kill coming through. Now Super going to be taken down. And NY Accelerian onto the point, grabbing the first tick. Now looking for the second. San Francisco, though, still playing forward. They lose out on Moth. Sinatra going to be taken down. This will be the cleanup. This will be the finish on A. So many ultimates having to be used there. NYXL managed to build up a couple more. They get close. But can they snowball this?
It's going to be tough. In that last fight, Libero did way more healing the Rascal, and the later sound barrier from Anamo is what won them that fight. 12 ultimates used, and somehow New York come out on top with that extra healing. Is 2K healing ahead of Rascal at the moment. One of our newer Brigitte players, surprised to see him on the starting lineup here against New York. They're keeping him in. Over Architect may cost them here. Here's the assault now as they have that grab online.
Sinatra low there. Does manage to stay alive. On to the point, rally out from both sides. Transcendence available from Violet. Grab's going to be coming through. Locks up Sinatra. The bomb thrown in straight on top. They're trying to block this one. But it's going to be a double. Over to Meko. Meko to triple. Treyhoban's going to be knocked out. And now, Rascal isolated, taken down. Treyhoban in the back. Can't do anything. Would love to just die at this point. Have a chance to respawn. But Meko takes his time with him. Shows him no mercy. Swap over onto the Wrecking Ball here. Super gets a nice pile driver. But the adaptive shield just does not last long enough. And that will be the finish. 3:04 remaining on the clock.
Clutch fight there on A. They snowball it there through the self-destruct. A close call yet again for New York, but they come through in the end.
Yeah, they get the finish. Nice time bank here. Let's see how the Shock manages when we come back from the break. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for the Shock to take to the attack. 3:04, the time to beat the price. Let's take a look back at that Mecco bomb.
Very nice lockups here on the side of the Excelsior, and you can see the knock here onto Super that allows this bomb to permeate. Choihoben gets caught in the crossfire as well. And just one play like that opens up and gives New York 3 minutes. That fails, and suddenly we're looking at sub 2 minutes very likely. So huge play there. Now, New York on the defense, they're going to be able to utilize JJonak a lot better than they could on the attack. It's going to be on the Shock here to try to lock this up, the high ground, and a lot of that pressure is on Choihoben.
Well, never been able to reverse sweep in the past. Let's see. There is a first time everything. Question is it now? For the San Francisco Shock. Taking a lot of damage here. Knocked out. He almost goes down. Mecco going to be eliminated again. Dumps this up the truck, but will not be able to make it back in and does not find a pickoff, so no pressure alleviated.
Bank advantage now for the Shock. This is the map they needed. This is the momentum shift I was talking about. It's a map that favors their style, and if they can lock this one up, perhaps they could get Route 66, perhaps they could get their first reverse sweep.
2.5 minutes in favor of the Shock. Let's see if it's good enough to get a win when we come back. Minutes and 31 seconds here for the San Francisco Shock. Got the confirmation. 4th fastest Volskaya take in the Overwatch League right there by the San Francisco Shock. And when you achieve that versus the NYXL, that's a pretty good badge to wear.
Sure. And, you know, the NYXL, this is not their map type. They got kind of bamboozled there on the first attack by the Shock. They once again had JJonak isolated. And it's a big problem when he's not able to do damage given their play style. And this is a map where, even though the Excelsior are up to 0, you're sweating here as New York because you know that some of your weaknesses have clearly already been identified by Shock, and if Shock can identify them and abuse them, what does that mean about Vancouver that you'll face in the playoffs later? That's what you're afraid of.
Well, Violet already taking a lot of damage there in the back, but he's going to be okay. Gets an armor pack.
They can't deny New York getting the high ground this time, actually, so they're going to get up here. JJonak is going to get that line of sight advantage here. Let's see what he can do with it.
Push their way up. Super already down below. Trying to farm out where he can. JJonak trying to find the snipe there on the Violet. He plays around the corner.
Look at the difference it makes when you have high ground as a Zen.
Yep, and now going to be dropping down into the thick of things. JJonak The battle's JJonak getting so many dinks. You're going to hear him coming through. All of those headshots registering. San Francisco Shock, overall the team dangerously low, and Super's going to be taken out. All the tanks, both supports down below half HP at the moment as JJonak just looks for target after target, rather. Moth going to be taken down, and this should just be the cap onto A. The rest of Shock trying to get out with their lives, but Rascal will not be able to do so.
This is NYXL in a nutshell. They're so reliant on JJonak getting into position to get those headshots, those stinks you talked about, get the damage done. He's going to walk into this point with a Transcendence. Violet will match him, but the key factor here is that in the longer fight, Nene's going to build a grab, and they could look for an incredible time bank here on this extra round, given where they started.
Another shot coming through, Sinatra falling low. Transcendence going to be out from JJonak, just looting the charge. Now going to be matched by Violet.
And he's got it.
Haven't even come out yet. Mono and Rascal both going to be taken down. Shatter comes in from Super, but I don't think he's found anybody. Answering grab is going to be in, but already 3 members gone from the San Francisco Shock. Sinatra's damage alone is not going to be able to turn this around, you would expect, because JJonak is still alive. Now putting damage in that back line. Pushes his way around the side, knows that Sinatra's on his lonesome. Discord Orb comes in, he'll scoop up the kill, keeps his team alive. The first tick still not coming through yet. This means that the rest of the Shock can gather back together and try to stabilize here. JJonak stunned up onto the point, going to be knocked out. That's going to be the self-destruct coming through, will not find a pick, but makes it back into the back. The rally going to be rolling from Rascal, but now Super going to be eliminated. The Shatter coming in. Mono gets a pin on the Rascal, takes him down. That Violet going to be gone. First tick comes through, still 120 on the clock. NYXL making it happen here in the OT rounds. JJonak pushes through, but his health bar just evaporates. They clean him up as they look to finish this off again. The Wrecking Ball comes through, but Super gets pushed off the point, and they will close it out.
The delay was real, though, and the Shock certainly turned what was a great double cap into a weak time bank, as we may go into 3 extra rounds, or rather 2 extra rounds here, a third set of Volskaya. Identifying win conditions is what the New York did with that second push. JJonak did the majority of the damage in the fight. He comes in with a trance, forces Violet to match him on the defense, and once that trance wears off, you see Nene come out with the grab. Gonna take a look at this ensuing fight. Notice the Transcendence here comes out first. This is the charge off. But if you look at the rest of this fight here, trances are traded, and now the grab can come through for Nene right after Violet's trance expires, and that's the moment where the point is won. Great delays, great reactions from Shock after realizing there's no condition in which they could prevent B from being captured, but still a very quick and crisp shot call coming through to aggress with that Transcendence.
There's so many what-if moments here for the Shock. What if Rascal didn't get knocked off the map there at the same time? But have that man advantage with Mono gone. Would that have been enough for them to stabilize, or at least hold out for a little bit longer, under a minute maybe in that time bank? It's been asking those questions.
And now the questions we ask are, can San Francisco Shock find and isolate JJonak again?
Well, think about how Mono, how quickly he got taken down on the attack. That was what really allowed for San Francisco to get onto the point very quickly. Can they do it again?
Yeah, Winston again here.
Sorry, a bubble. Going to be used, is on the low ground. He's going to be holding onto the leap. Jumps back over with his squad. Not going to be getting stunned up. JJonak pushing forward. Get a bit of damage. Have to be careful, but Libero taken down. But Super answered for as Anomal goes forward. Gets a melee hit onto the Rhine to take him out. And yeah, this is going to be the kills coming through. So good hold here on the first attack by the NYXL. JJonak does manage to find JJonak. Violet gets Meko. Can they actually turn this around?
I don't think so.
No, they can't.
There's just no way. Nene has too much energy, and Sinatra, ends up losing out hard.
Oh, Violet.
And of course, Violet will be staggered.
Yep.
No way out of that one. At least he got a little bit of ult charge in that moment. But it's not time to panic yet as a Shock fan, because there's still a lot of time, and there are ways they can trade this back. Your biggest fear, though, is going to be the first time that Nene grabs. How many ults need to be used there? You need to use your ults to win that fight and get the point, because if you can't do that, you're always going to be behind in ultimates. They need to take control of this zone first before they can force NYXL
Grab
down.
is online, and I'm almost dead, but we'll go ahead and lock him up here right onto the corner. No Transcendence available. Rascal nearly taken down. Will go ahead and fall. Doesn't use the rally. Knows that it's not enough for them to stay in the fight. 2 ults used by NYXL.
Yes, and this is the key, right? Violet doesn't ult there. And sure, it looks like a lost fight for the Shock, but it's not really. Technically, they did not take A with that attack, but what they won was an ult exchange in their favor. The problem is that Sinatra didn't gain a lot of charge during that engage. And that's what they're going to need. That plus Violet's trance is how they're going to win this point eventually. But it's going to take a little bit more time.
It's been really slow going for him to try to build that up. Not a lot of damage on the entrance. Shadow's going to be coming down. Bubble not going to be fast enough. The sound barrier is. Keeps Mono and Nene both alive. Sinatra nearly with the grab online. They'll start ticking up here on a 3.5 minutes remaining. Jump into the back. Mono trying to disrupt them, but gets shredded down as the sound barrier comes through from Mob. They still have the Transcendence and might just be able to hold on to it. Bomb dropping in from above. Not going to find a pick. The 2 members gone. Now 3 away from the NYXL. This will be the cleanup. This will be the finish here on A. The bump up to 3.5 minutes.
The only tool that NYXL will get is the grab to defend this point, and that's going to take time. In that time, San Francisco Shock will also build several other ultimates. But the Transcendence here for Violet is what makes me feel like if someone saw the future and told me NYXL holds this first push, I don't believe them.
Well, let's see how they play this one out.
Violet
pushing forward, Shatter almost up here for Super. Taking a lot of damage in the front. Fire Strike going to be denied away. Super pushing forward. Violet as well in onto the point. Pretty entrenched at the moment as he tries to keep everybody topped up. Super going low. The Transcendence has to go early. That's before the grab comes in from Nene. That could be the turning point now. Amano will be taken down. Grab comes through, locking him up. Violet has to turn around. Toyobin going to be taken out of the mech as Meko tries to finish him off. It seems like he will be able to do so without losing the suit himself, but now loses out on it. The bomb comes through. Not going to find a pickoff. San Francisco Shock still very much in on this attack. Anamo gone. Meko trying to play high, but gets knocked down to half HP. Has to retreat. Picks up the Mega Pack. Will be coming in behind the Shock members. And Super, he's stuck in a corner. He's going to be taken down as the Transcendence comes in from JJonak to keep the team topped up. Look how close they got. 96.2%, but they cannot finish it. And now, NYXL, they might be able to get this with a superior time bank.
They are the kings of contesting the point with very little left, coming in knowing exactly when they need to touch. That early transfer from Violet cost them big. Now he's going to have another one here. But this time bank is very much erased. Remember, even if they win the fight, they're still going to have to deal with the staggers and the respawns. It's going to take some time. This grab needs to be big.
Pushing their way forward, building up that energy very rapidly. Sinatra surging up. Throws down the grab. Saw the D-Matrix comes in, knows that they have that cooldown. Mono's going to be taken down. Sound Barrier comes in just a little bit too late to keep the Rhine in the fight. The rest of the team holding on by a thread. Libero into the back, pushes his way. Keep himself safe. They tick up. They nearly have it. Meko almost popped out. They can't quite finish him off. Now it's going to be the grab coming through the bomb up over the top. Meko looking for the pickup. No, it's Troy Hobins rather. Throws it in. Manages to help get a kill there on a Meko as he gets eliminated. JJonak now going to be popping the Transcendence. Shadow's going to be coming down. Locks him up the grab. Holding him here on the side of the point. The support's all going to be taken down. The San Francisco Shock looking to finish it up, and they will be able to do so. A sliver of time to their advantage.
Don't get too excited yet, San Francisco fans, because this map now looks very likely to be a draw.
I mean, remember how Nambani went.
Yeah, and remember, a draw here means that the New York Excelsior will win the series and take that 7-0. It's one of the win conditions we didn't specifically mention earlier, and that was a lot of time bought. Still the advantage in time bank, but it is minute, and we are talking about very small.
16 seconds.
Exactly. Very, very small amount of time bank on both sides. New York can win this map, certainly, but you have to win it. As the Shock, you cannot draw it, and that's the most terrifying thing about these maps. They get longer here, where the time banks get smaller. New York's plan there was not to win on the defense, but rather to delay and create this scenario where they lose this map, they can still take Route 66, win the series. If they draw this map, Route 66 is irrelevant. It's a very smart idea to just try to drain it down. Risky, but it did work out for them in the end. San Francisco will defend first here once again. It needs to be a very solid defense.
I mean, they need to go ahead.
They need to crush it.
They need to tap that power that we saw from them the first time out before we got into overtime. They nearly drained NYXL down and nearly full held them.
This attack is where NYXL wins the series. If they fail, it's not over yet. But if it's a good attack, they can pretty much lock this map up.
Minute and 6 was the start. They start working their way around, taking the right side approach from the attacker's perspective. Work their way over onto the point. Super's already dropped down. JJonak just going to be looking for targets. Maul taking a couple shots, not seeing any opportunities to push his way in and try to isolate somebody yet. They force them back around the corner, shifting to the other side. Now they're going to have that high ground approach, get JJonak up above the Shock.
Yeah, that's the idea here. They made it work last time. It was a long fight, but JJonak did the damage. And he gets the kill, Violet!
There you go. That's exactly where they want him. Violet going to be taken down.
Disaster for the Shock.
Nearly with that Transcendence online. Still going to be spamming away. 15% left to go. Libero will be traded out as Super finds the kill.
Trance up.
So much more than that. Trance is now online. So good luck finishing off anybody else here. On the side of New York, Super going to be taken down. JJonak going forward, tries to finish him off, but JJonak says no, takes him out of the mech, they finish him off. And that is going to be NYXL ticking up onto the point again. The grab going to be coming through, locks him up, and the Transcendence is there. San Francisco Shock still pushing forward. The first tick going to be going through. Mecco taken down. Sound barrier up. Moth drops it immediately with a shatter from Mono. Is massive. Knocks him down in the garage. And that is going to be point A going their way. Another 30 seconds on the clock.
New York is playing chess here, getting JJonak into position. And that's all it takes. He gets the trance, blows up JJonak in the bunker. And now this is more than they could have ever hoped for here. And they could get even more. No grab.
Nimbani reminds you of Nimbani. Taking a lot with very little to begin with. Pushing the way forward, but they only have 10 seconds remaining.
Then a high energy. He's at the front. Doesn't have to back away.
A couple ults ready to go. Getting B. Truly miraculous if the NYXL can pull this off. Rally's going to be out from Libero. Pushing their way forward. Transcendence now in from Violet. Sound barrier going to be matched. Namo comes that one. JJonak has the trance ready to go. He's going to pop it. Mono, however, going to be taken down. Super nearly traded out. Shadow's going to be coming through, but it's going to cost him his life. Mecco finishes him off. Rascal in the back, dangerously though, has to push around the corner. Grab comes in, locks him up. They deny away Sinatra's grab. Moth's been taken out. Mecco gets a double, triple as he follows up with a JJonak's mech. They get the first tick. NYXL, are you kidding me? Making it happen.
I cannot believe it. One more delay.
Pile driver in desperation, but Super does not stand a chance. Ball skirting around the top side of the point, but they focus him down, and they will finish it again. NYXL does not adhere. They don't play by the rules.
They certainly do not. Absolute dominance here from this squad. And the map is not over yet. The Shock, though, are out of this one.
If the Shock does this,
they will have to get this
with time in the back.
Like, this will literally be a record-breaking attack if they could do it. Because if there's no time banks, then it's over. The series ends. We will watch this Mecco bomb once again, which comes in at a perfect angle. It will clip, as you can see, onto Violet.
He just pushed out just an inch too far behind that wall.
Mistimed time to look out. But this is basically the series ending. I mean, we will watch the craziest moment in Overwatch League history if the Shock is able to bring this one back.
Yeah.
But it is technically not over till it's over, as they say.
Well, here we go. 1:22 to try to match the 6 points picked up by NYXL on this full sky round.
I mean, 82 seconds, that is it.
Let's see if they can do it.
There is no more.
I'm down for 12 points taken on Volskaya. Why not?
But look at this. Once again, already New York using their defensive setup on the left side, where they can get that damage done with JJonak. It's been where they found the most success. And Shock has no time to waste here, so if they have to reposition, that's basically game over. It has to be now, it has to be perfect, but I just don't see this working.
Already. 20 seconds gone. Only the hope of building up another 30 after they can cap A. Pushing their way down into the garage.
They have to fight, because they're going to need ults to take B.
Yep, they have to get onto the point.
They have to fight now.
Fire strike comes through. Mono taking a bit of damage. They'll be healed back up. Moth looking for an angle. No one playing close enough to a ledge for him to get a boop off. Moth takes a lot of damage as JJonak is into the back, but NYXL routed away from the point for now. One tick going to be coming through. How long do they wait? How much do they surrender? Mono starts pushing forward again. JJonak's got the side angle. Almost takes him out, but now Super's going to raise the shield. They push forward. They'll be able to push him off. Mono finds the kill, but they answer back to get him, but JJonak loses out of the mech. Sinatra gets the double as Nene will be taken down. Looking for more. JJonak pops the Transcendence. Moth goes off the side, I suppose. Not quite sure what happened there. Both these bricks going to be hitting the ground. Grab's going to be available. He's got to use it. Sinatra dumps it in. He's 100 energy. Trying to make it happen. Mecco going to be popped out. They're actually going to be able to get the cap on A, but can they they roll this into B, there's so few ultimates available for the Shock.
I mean, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but this is just simply not enough time. They're going to have one more fight here, one more last stand. What all NY Excelsior do is simply stand on the point to win this series. One more shot for the Shock.
Normally I would say that it's possible because crazier things have happened, Wolf, but I don't think crazier things have happened. They get the sun up there on Tamano, but already a very rough start. Rascal going to be taken down, super falling now, Moth. And we will watch the hopes of the Shock dwindle away as New York Excelsior tighten the noose. OT ticking down. No hope for Troy Hoban to make it back in. Not even a celebratory kill.
NYXL will be able to hold them back 6-5 at the end of that full sky round, but they move up 3-0 in the set.
So many naysayers, they had an easy schedule, they say. This is not their meta, they say. New York will not excel, but it's in their name, and that is exactly what they do. Map after map, 7-0 to New York.
What a record. Shock. Can they claw it back for one map win? We'll find out in a bit.
The Overwatch League is powered by Intel. Game, record, stream without compromise on Intel Core i7. And by Omen by HP, the official PC and display of the Overwatch League.
Ladies and gentlemen, 7-0 achieved the perfect record in stage 1 for the New York Excelsior, as they have closed out the series, so don't let that 6-0 fall.
Yeah, we won't update the 6-0 until the series is over, but as you know, it is impossible to get enough wins with only one map remaining. I know this sounds basic, but it is New York. They had the perfect stage. Vancouver looks poised to do the same with their remaining schedule. And I gotta say, you know, this New York versus Vancouver Stage 1 Finals becomes more and more likely all the time. They clinched first place. No one could stop them right now. And, you know, as I said before, there's so many members of the community out there. There's so many fans saying, I don't know. I'm still a doubter of New York. But how can you doubt when, if you could see it in the eye test, you could see it in miraculous pushes like that. You've got a feel for the Shock, always almost there. Yeah. They've had an incredibly tough schedule for Stage 1, and their final match will be against Paris next week, so it gets even tougher.
Putting up fights, but not taking away map wins, at least not in this set here. Shock, one more chance to do just that as they take to the attack on Dorado, the first time that they're going to be playing this map here in the 2019 season, so let's see how practiced they are.
Yeah, very much a map where, you know, this high ground control early, going to be pretty easily taken by the attackers. It's more about how much ult charge you can get for the choke.
Way up top.
Always, you know, a great player playing around high ground and denying that from his opponent, so it's going to be a great map for him.
Cart going to be moving up here into the choke. Super already so very low. Pushes back immediately. And then just shooting forward, high energy. Right clicks, getting a lot of splash damage in. Trying to build up for that grab. Sinatra going to be trying to match, but still lagging behind just a little bit. Violet takes a ton of damage here. Managing a hold on, but it's by a thread at the moment for the Shock, and the cart is not advancing at all. Now the grab's going to be online. 100 energy going to be snagged here. They throw it straight down, pushing it around the back. No bomb necessary. JJonak is going to be picking up a double kill. And Super and Moth fall, and the rest of the team will follow.
Back in Apex, when this was the meta, where you had a similar Reinhardt Zarya meta, Hoon became famous for using grabs in chokes, building up his grabs faster than other Zaryas. And now it's the commonplace, the norm in this meta. And you see that Nene does exactly that. And they're able to get this out before Trance. They get so much time off the bank because of it.
Rally's going to be out. Rascal trying to keep them alive. Shatter comes in from Mono, but doesn't lead to much. So nothing in the way of kills. Grab coming through, locks up Libero, still pushing forward. They'll pop that Transcendence, the bomb to zone them back off. And it gets Sinatra. Ring Shatter coming through. Super not really finding too much. And Violet in the corner has to use the Transcendence to try to stay alive. As Nene gets closer and closer to that next grab, he's surging forward. Mono will be taken down, so alleviating a bit of pressure at the moment is the Shock. The cart can finally start advancing again. Do they want to recontest this?
I think they want to jump on it. Nene's got the grab. They're going to wait. No Trance.
Push the way down. Nice boop over to the side. Pushes
Nice
him out. Yeah, takes that one away. Trying to lob it in. Long range, but JJonak says no thank you. Takes that one away. Super, however, still going to be taken down. Sinatra manages to find the enemy break. Sound barrier used by Moth. JJonak still holding on to the Transcendence at the moment. We'll be popping it now, but it's a little bit too late trying to keep Nene alive. Finds Violet. Now JJonak take it down. Can't get it. It was so close. The fire strike just snipes out that baby diva. Still holding the cart. Shatter's going to be coming in. Sinatra locked up on the fountain. Will be taken down. Now Rascal booped over to the side. As well, eliminated. Anamo gets himself a double kill with a melee fist there.
This is one of the very rare scenarios where you want to continue to fight down on members.
As opposed to the ranged fist.
Because he wants to build that ult charge, right? He gets shattered. They waste mono shatter as a result. He gets up to 80%. He's leading in ult charge right now. They know JJonak doesn't have Trance, so that costs them a lot of time to stick around like that, but they need this grab for the next fight, and he's going to have it very shortly here. Question is, could JJonak somehow build that Trance before? I don't think so. It's going to be close.
Dangerously so. Echo taking a lot of damage in the back. Bomb set. Mono pushed out with the sound barrier. Perfectly timed. Adama helps keep him alive. So far, the cart not going to be moving much yet. Grab comes in. Sinatra locking him up. They're trying to keep Libero alive, but it's not going to be enough. JJonak cannot put out enough healing, but now the responding grab comes through. The bomb is straight up into the air. Looking for the pickoffs. The boom comes in, and Meko finds two. Super and Moth both going to be taken down. Now JJonak knocked out in the back. Didn't quite have that self-destruct online. He actually managed to pilot pistol down JJonak, which is hilarious, but the rest of the team just trying to hold on and almost skirting around the cart. Trying to keep this one contested. Meko does lose out. Pop up. Gets rid of the Lucio, so the Shock do manage to turn this one around, it would seem. Pushing forward. They get the finish on A, and things started looking quite bad. Super now overextended. Does he want to stick through? How long does he play around?
I actually like
with
this.
a wrecking ball. It's working.
It's working, and I like him continue to chase and get these stagger kills. He's not going to want to stick on it anymore. He's going to use the grapple to get back into spawn faster, but playing aggressive like this, forcing these split spawn heroes to get caught, forcing them back is exactly how you're going to make up for lost time here, make that distance happen, as well as grab ult charge. Sinatra wasn't able to hit the window before Trance was ready for JJonak, but the ensuing fight with the Wrecking Ball coming through ends up getting them that. It's not a great time bank, but it's better than you could have asked for when it looked like it was going to be a full hold.
Trying to play sneaky here. He's like, oh, I gotcha! And he looks up and like, oh, you're above me. Okay. Not going to throw the grab. He's going to be holding on. Shatter comes out, catches Violet, and he will be taken down the sound barrier. Too late from Moth. A couple extra seconds and they would have been able to save him. Maybe they could convert this into a team fight win, but now, without their Zenyatta, with the Trance about to be online, they have to peel back.
Rally, they want this now.
They're still going to be going, yeah, Super. Push forward, taking a ton of damage. Meko's just right behind him. No one is paying attention to this diva right now, and he'll just finish him off.
Oh, this is an egregious usage of two ultimates. When the barrier misses like that, it's twofold a problem. You don't save the target you're looking for, and your barrier is gone. They then panic and commit the rally, one of several small mistakes Rascal has made throughout this series that's going to have fans wondering, why isn't Architect on the stage when he's been the better performing Brigitte throughout stage one? And it's looking bad for the Shock. They've got a few ults here, but New York has the counter ultimates and positional advantage.
Violet already taken low. 5 ults, nearly the big 6 here for NYXL. The cart will start advancing through the archway. Mono, the final boss, waiting on the other side.
This fight has to be one-sided for the Shock. It has to be. They need to somehow isolate one target and kill it even during the trance. They've got to kill somebody during JJonak's trance.
Well, Grab's going to be coming through. Violet popped the trance headers, but Moth has already been taken down. JJonak finds the kill. The bomb straight in on top. Not going to be getting any picks. Ring bomb now coming out, looking for somebody, but no one goes down other than Moth as he tries to get back. Super going to be eliminated, but Rascal managed to find Mecco as they pop him out, but Libero punishes the enemy Brig. Nene wrapping around the side, nearly takes Choi Hoban out of the suit, and somebody's got to tag in. They boot Moth back. No one can get there. And then the Shock, it was a very excellent start. That stretch from A to B, but they cannot get there. They cannot extend the time bank, so just the 1 point taken.
You could see Super standing up at his seat there, stretching his legs. You could feel the pressure that are on these guys. They're able to steal that final win against Vancouver. They have taken a lot of these, final maps away, but that was not the aggressive attack they were looking for. That was not the success they found previously. 4th maps in Lost Series. No reverse sweeps for the Shock tonight will not be any different. But it's going to take an incredible defense here if they're going to take a single map. And remember, with this format, all maps matter to the end of Stage 4 to the finals playoffs. So even though New York is 7-0, they want a 4-0 here. They've already gotten first place for the Atlantic Division. But they're thinking further. They're thinking about Stage 2, 3, 4. They want the grand finals they missed last season. It's not a team that you're going to see sandbag this season, I don't think.
They don't want any more of those very sad fan meetings,
Nope.
Plan everything ahead. Yeah, we're going to the finals. No. But this season, it looks even more dominant than they had seemed in the 2018 season, which is impressive, to say the least.
Yeah. I mean, out the gates. For the Shock, they'll have Super on Ryan. Not going to try any sort of, Orisa Junkrex shenanigans. No Widow here. It's not the meta for that. Libero.
Almost had it.
He's trying.
Didn't work out.
Sinatra plays his best in situations like this where he gets high ground for free. See how long he can keep it, though. Very tough to hold this against the attackers.
Well, Choi Hoban going to be losing out. Mecco goes up for the boop. And already the kite back call has been yelled out by the Shock, so everybody going to be moving back into the marketplace.
And it's just way easier for the attackers to fan out across this roof, hit you across the side there, so usually just have to give this up for free. Remember last time Nene got a grab in this fight and then was able to hold the choke? San Francisco Shock far from that reality here, only 30% for Sinatra.
Dropping the way down, ton of damage going through onto Mono. Unable to finish him off, but still chasing forward. Choi Hoban up onto the high ground. Helps force him back through the underpass. Sinatra just going to be fishing for as much charge as he can get. Barely ahead of Nene at the moment. Mono again pushing forward, Super going low, gets that Zarya bubble to try to stay alive. Mecco melted down by Sinatra, so can't play in behind the Reinhardt like he so often loves to do.
Anamo trying to isolate Super. He does get the armor pack, he does live, but a close call there.
Barrier going lower and lower. Mono having to play around the fountain to try to stay alive and let that regen. Good poke damage coming through from the Shock, but they need to transition this into kills. Grab's going to be coming through from NYXL, locking him up. Shatter out, not going to find anything but the pin, however, gets rid of Rascal. Taking him out, answering grab, comes through. Sound barriers in from the NYXL. Bomb up into the top. Violet going to be taken down. Choi Hoban gets a triple kill, making a quad. Mecco going to be knocked out of the suit as well. Fantastic turnaround, the pin there on the JJonak for the finish. And Mecco is just going to get staggered.
He gets the 5th there on the Nene with the melee kills. As you say, Mecco will get staggered. Really nice push for the New York Excelsior when no ults were used. That's what ultless Overwatch would look like in this meta. Let's take a quick look at this fight again. We're going to see Super step in. He hits the big shatter here.
Shield drops for a moment.
Moth also in position to set that up. For example, if the Shatter didn't hit, he knocks them into it, but the Shatter's there. There's really good coordination here with ultimates. Map is very winnable for the Shock now. Looked disastrous for the first defense there, but now they've got momentum in their favor.
A minute and 20. Just going to be looking to build up those next few ultimates. Rally and Sound Barrier ready to go from them so far. Speaking of Rally, both teams going to be using it. Shock pushing their way back. Now have to advance out to keep the cart contested. Rally going to be expiring here.
Grabs up for Nene with no trance. I don't know if he knows that, though, because it's so close.
Now Violet nearly has it. JJonak as well. Dangerously close. Grab's going to be coming through the Sound Barrier. Out from Moth to start things off, and Sinatra gets rid of Mono. Bomb coming out, not going to get anything. Meko makes it back into the suit, however, but the pin comes in, and Libero's going to be taken down. Now Anamo gone. NYXL used so many ultimates in the fight, and they don't get anything. Still held 4 meters away. San Francisco Shock. They could certainly full hold this.
The most important thing is that Nene doesn't die. He was high energy in that fight, and now he has the ability to build a grab on the reapproach. He has to be the hero here. He had the majority of the damage in that last fight, but even still, it wasn't enough. His survival means they have one last shot. But I mean one last shot. If he can't carry this fight with high damage, build a grab, and hit it before Violet's ready for a trance, then Shock takes a map.
Shatter going to be coming out, locking up a few members here, looking for Mono, and he'll be taken down by JJonak, self-destruct. Already one gone. They have to work their way over onto the cart. Being gated off for the moment. 3 seconds remaining. And Amo tries to push forward. They do manage to get the tag. OT going to be taken away, but JJonak takes it away. Sound Barrier is still going to be out. Nene's still alive into the fight. Super gets isolated and taken down. Sinatra gets his own grab in, however, locks him up. Anamo going to be taken down. JJonak just sitting straight on top of their heads, spraying away with a left click, trying to finish him off. Transcendence going to be expiring from the side of JJonak. Violet running his own, keeping his diva alive. Shatter comes in, locks up Sinatra. Tries to
he's doing it,
cannot
though.
get it, but now Violet gone. Ball taken out.
He's doing
no
it.
support's alive. Mono holding him on by a thread. Super manages to get JJonak, but now Nene, he burns JJonak out of the mech. The baby diva's going to be gone. They invest to grab the lock up Super and finish him off. They will be able to advance this cart into A. They will bump up the time bank, but man, it was so close.
Nene comes from the sister team of LW Blue. He was a Tracer player. He's played in Contenders America, but he comes in this season as the best pickup New York could have asked for. Some of the best Zarya stats in the league across the board. That fight was a lost fight in any other scenario. He made it happen alone. High energy. Grab gets eaten. Doesn't matter. It's about the left clicks, baby.
It's going to get burnt down. The track in there from Nene. Nicely done, but Sinatra is able to answer back. Grab online for him.
Overextended, though. With those clicks, he wanted to get the staggers. He wanted to get the push through, but he does get punished just as I was talking him up. And suddenly, we're back to square one here.
Support ultimates looking a lot better for San Francisco Shock. Moth nearly with that barrier ready to go. Super taking a lot of damage. Keeps himself safe. Very patiently being played right now by NYXL. This is what we've come to expect from them.
Moth wants to cut off Mono or Nene if possible here.
Rally's going to be out. Shadow coming in, but the shield's going to be up. Super blocks that one. They do create some space to advance the cart here. Try to get around the corner. Super played way too far forward. Almost gets taken down again. But as you say, 6 ultimates ready to go. Nene with the grab. Almost set. Super going to be stunned up. Booped over to the side. Manages to stay alive, but Violet will go ahead and use the Transcendence.
It's a bit early.
Shatter trying to come in. Super doesn't really find too many numbers. Now the grab comes in, locks him in, and Violet gets cut off. He's on the other side of the wall, so the Sound Barrier is not in position to save him. Now Super going to be taken out. San Francisco Shock suffering heavy losses here. Have to reset.
6 ultimates, and it's not enough. The Violet Transcendence is too early, and this opens up a window here for Nene. High energy to get that grab on the corner. Sound Barrier's not enough. Violet is killed in animation there. And that is going to be this cart rolling around the corner. It's not over yet, but what a turnaround. Double support ults here against Sinatra's grab and no energy. New York want this 4-0.
So very close, not much more space to go for NYXL to get that 4-0 to finish off their stage. Super playing up around the corner, so very far away from that next Earth Shatter. Mono waiting. Nene trying to build up. The grab's going to be coming through. They can't deny that one away. The bomb's going to be thrown in by JJonak. Looking for the big offs. The Sound Barrier's there, and Meko answers back. Gets himself a double. That might just be enough. Up into the air. Sinatra now going to be taken down. Troy Hobin sitting on the cart trying to stay alive, has the Transcendence out from Violet. Super's going to be swapping back over onto that Wrecking Ball to try to tag in. Troy Hobin still keeping things contested, but already upon arrival, he'll come down with a pile driver, but just immediately gets eliminated, and that will be it. NYXL, they take the set 4-0.
It was so darn close at times for the Shock, but they cannot get a map win.
JJonak looks crushed on the stage. He had that grab eat, but it wasn't enough. And once again, Shock are close, but they just cannot cross the finish line. A map that looked easily won for them, but the New York turned it around. They make it happen against adversity in 5v6 fights, 4v6 fights. It's Meko who comes in big with the self-destruct. It's Nene who maintains high energy and gets the job done. He ends up with nearly 20,000 damage there. An absolutely crazy series for the NYXL. Fear them. They are one of our most terrifying teams we have ever seen in any stage of Overwatch League.
I mean, showed a couple moments of weakness here today, but it was how they stabilized. It was just so darn impressive. But guys, let's go ahead and throw down to Danny Lim, who's on the floor, standing by with Mono for an interview.
Wolf and Achilles, thank you very much. Everybody, Blizzard Arena, give it up for Mono and NYXL. They have done it. Perfect stage, 7-0. Mono, I honestly don't know what to say. Can anything or any team stop the New York Excelsior? 자, 뉴욕 팀이 드디어 해냈습니다. 전승 무패, 퍼펙트 스테이지 해내셨는데 뭐 뉴욕한테 뭐 좀 힘들 것 같은, 아니면 뭐 뉴욕을 막을 수 있는 팀이나 누가 있을까요? 뉴욕을 막을 수 있는 뭐가 있을까요?
저희를 막을 수 있는 것은 컨디션 안 좋은 뉴욕이라고 생각합니다.
The only thing who could put a stop to us would be our own team, NYXL, in a very, very bad condition. Nice. Love it. Thank you. And also, talking about a perfect stage, there is also one more team who is looking to fight you guys for the #1 seed for the stage playoffs, and that is none other than Vancouver Titans. Mono, do you have anything you want to say to Vancouver Titans? Or better yet, do you have anything you want to say to the main tank of Vancouver Titans, Bumper? 자, 지금 이제 #1 시드로 이제 뉴욕이 지금 굉장히 접근해 가 있는데 또 바로 다른 한 팀이 또 있어요. 지금 이제 뉴욕 팀과 그 #1 시드를 위해서 경쟁을 하고 있는 팀이 밴쿠버 팀인데, 밴쿠버 팀에게 한마디 또는 아니면 범퍼 선수에게 한 말씀 부탁드릴게요.
범퍼 선수가 굉장히 공격적으로 궁을 쓰시던데 그게 저희 팀한테 걸릴지는 모르겠네요.
So I realized that Bumper from Vancouver Titans have been playing very aggressive, has a very aggressive play style, and when